ancient mystery with the help of a prominent veterinarian who says she can prove that Bigfoot exists and that he's related to all of us.
Seriously, look how big it is. I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
It was a bluebird January morning here in the foothills of northeast Provo when a group of guys saw a figure on the mountain that looked like something they've never seen before.
A Virginia man claims he spotted Bigfoot and he has the video to prove it.
Finally, somebody. We're going to let you be the judge.
A lot of people make fun of me, but I don't care. I know it's there.
Everyone has heard of Bigfoot. From a small age, we hear stories about this hairy beast. Sightings from around the world have haunted us since we were old enough to understand. When we think of Bigfoot hunters, typically we think of older gentlemen enjoying a foamy glass of ice-cold beer, sitting at the bar, retelling their tales of Bigfoot to anyone that would listen. But what is Bigfoot? From Yeti, Sasquatch to Bigfoot, this creature has been labeled so many different times it's hard to keep up. However, typically Bigfoot is described as a very tall, hairy creature that seems to escape the camera. But this furry Cinderella leaves behind not a shoe, but large footprints that have baffled men for ages. Ranging from the bottom of our neighbor, Canada, to the top of the U.S., Bigfoot has been seen for hundreds of years. The person to be credited with the first sighting and discovery was in 1811. His name was David Thompson, an explorer from Britain. He originally found footprints, and many have been found since then. The first sightings, along with the first alleged pictures and film, was contributed by Roger Patterson from Bluff Creek, California, in the year 1967. However, this evidence was not verified to be true nor false. In fact, most scientists do not acknowledge the existence of this creature, despite all of the findings from Canada and the United States. Many interactions with Bigfoot have been reported over many, many years. Even the Native American cultures respect and fear Bigfoot. There was an incident in the year 1924, which was labeled the Battle of Ape Canyon. The legend expresses the grisly attacks on miners by ape men. They hurled rocks onto the roofs of their cabin from a nearby cliff after one of the miners shot off a rifle. Stories pile up throughout time, deeming Bigfoot not a myth. However, this creature is rarely seen but has a temper. It's funny how that there are no attacks mentioned. So again, if this creature is real, is he friend or foe?
We've all had experiences that have changed our lives. I mean, literally shook the foundations of what we believe in.
Besides the video, they say they also have DNA proof of Bigfoot's existence.
Innumerable sightings. Some Sasquatch hunters have even deigned to speak to Conan O'Brien.
See, I know they exist.
There are many people that look for Bigfoot, that look for signs. Now, if this creature is real, those people that believe in Bigfoot have knowledge on what this beast eats. The diet of Bigfoot is still up in the air with the squatching community. However, most scientists believe that this creature survives on a typical diet just like bears, consuming animal flesh and plants. Some examples of a diet of this nature includes fish, insects, small creatures like rabbits, and mostly vegetation. With the assumption of Bigfoot residing in the deep forest like bears, some have suggested that this creature hibernates as well after a long feast. There are many hunters, campers, hikers, and even those who like to squatch have expressed they have heard howls and have heard communication using logs cracking together. Individuals that have researched the Bigfoot phenomenon have indicated that there are a number of disputed behaviors that supposedly relate to these creatures. Some of the reports express behaviors that include patterns like repetitive knocking sounds, It is said to be produced by things like rocks or even logs. It is called wood knocking. Rock throwing is another typical behavior. Some researchers attribute these behaviors to territorial displays. It is communication expressing that the researchers are in the Bigfoot's territory. There are some skeptics that have argued that the behaviors are hoaxed.
It's there.
Tim Peeler swears he had an encounter with one of the most legendary beasts in history, Bigfoot.
Well, he was what I would call a Sasquatch.
Peeler says there's no film of his recent sighting because he was too nervous to go for his camera, but he says Bigfoot walked right by him.
He had gray hair and a gray beard that come down to here. But he had long hair that was yellowish gray.
This is the YouTube video. Can you see real closely there?
Yeah, that's Bigfoot.
It was supposedly shot near the Did you say that's Bigfoot like you've seen him before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I watch those Bigfoot shows.
All right. This was shot apparently near the Intracoastal Waterway earlier this month. Randy O'Neill says he captured the images with his cell phone while he was camping with his dad. He says he saw red eyes watching them from the woods. So he claims he fired a shotgun, heard something scream and go crashing through the trees. O'Neill says he and his father experienced a similar encounter some 25 years ago.
Skeptics offer explanations of sightings being those of bears, escaped apes, and even humans trying to keep the Bigfoot legend alive. In the year 2013, a man, 21 years of age, was arrested in Oklahoma when he had told police that he accidentally shot his friend while their group was on a Bigfoot hunt. In the year 2017, a shamanist wearing clothing that was made of animal fur was vacationing in a forest located in North Carolina. Locals reported him as a Bigfoot, but that does not explain why so many more individuals and groups are on the search for Bigfoot, also known as squatching.
Breaking news out of Texas, Bigfoot is real. According to a group of researchers, they call themselves the Sasquatch Genome Project, and they released what they say is proof. Several never-before-seen short video clips of the legendary and very shy creature. The group spent 5 years and $500,000 coming to this conclusion. One clip is of Sasquatch sleeping, shot during the day in Kentucky back in 2005.
So what are your thoughts? Is Bigfoot real? Is he a myth? And if he is real and not a myth, is he a friend or is he a foe?